Hello and welcome everybody, Lionheart here with part 50 of the Elves of Lórien 3rd Age Let's Play with the MOS Submod. We continue and we're here ready to see how Haldir will face against the hordes of Mordor. He faces over 3,000 men with his force of just under 1,000. He must hold Edoras against Mordor's hordes. So here we go. Now I know some of you have been commenting asking if part 50 could be a 1 hour special. However, I'm sure you're also aware that I am away on holiday very shortly, so at the moment I'm pretty pressed for time in fact making Let's Plays for the current week, let alone a few to go up while I'm away. So I'm afraid this will not be a 1 hour special, it will be the usual 20 to 30 minute length. However, when I am back from August 30th, so when I'm back from my holiday, I will be doing a couple of well, quite a few parts for my remaining Let's Plays before Rome 2 is launched, and try and get as many of them done as possible, just to progress those storylines and what have you, so you guys aren't wondering what happened, you know, too much. But there will be some 1 hour specials of those then, so I'm afraid you're going to have to wait a few weeks before we can get to that stage, but it will be worth it. Brief pause there. People randomly walking in while I record. I really need a I'm recording sign. So, we have an issue of the enemy has brought up Mumakil, which could pose a problem. And this is just one of the armies, and now I can already see their reinforcements formed up on the other side. Thankfully, these guys have no means of getting in to Edoras, and I'm hoping that neither does this force. So all of these reinforcements are nothing without this main force making its way through Edoras' gates. Don't know why they're bothering to bring up ladders, because as far as I know, they definitely can't put ladders on these. It's just essentially a wooden palisade, obviously with a stone base, but there's nowhere where they can actually get on the walls. The only thing that can be useful here in siege equipment terms is a ram, which they are bringing up. They have their Olag High and Mumakil, so I cannot afford those gates to be breached. Also had a few of you saying, like last time I faced Edoras, why wasn't I getting my men to use flaming arrows on the ram itself? In 3rd Age, unlike the base game of Medieval 2 Total War, where you could actually set things on fire with your archers' flaming arrows relatively easily, in 3rd Age and Stainless Steel, it is a lot harder to destroy siege equipment. The only way I've seen it happen in things like Stainless Steel is when there's a lot of burning oil poured over the ram itself, and then it gets damaged a bit. Or if you set it on fire with a ballista, which I did recently in this Elves of Lórien Let's Play. I set other ballista on fire, but it's not so easy to do. I'm just going to get them to focus on the Orc Band, bring down those guys controlling the ram. And hopefully the rest of my units are going to be able to fire very shortly, because I want to bring down these guys. I want to do what I did last time, which was obviously stop these guys from getting the rams to me, so that I can actually, you know, pick away at them to the extreme, so that they really cannot do a thing. So I'm taking them off fire at wills just so they fully engage with this one unit of spearmen. I don't want them engaging in any of the other units behind. Most likely another unit will just come along and pick it up, but hopefully we won't. Hopefully it will stall them a bit. It does seem to confuse the AI, and we've already got some units firing over here, which I think may well be Haldir's regiment. Just to focus on the spear, on the Orc spear band, the spearmen. If we can bring them down, I'm going to be incredibly happy. Because I need to start stopping this ram very shortly. I know we've already inflicted 9% casualties, but It's these two units here, Olaghai and Mumakil, that I'm worried about, because my elves don't have the strength to bring them down. I don't believe, at least, so it's going to be holding the gates, and obviously if we lose this, we lose Haldir. Haldir will fall. And there we go, I think that's the whole of the Orc band gone there. So they will be bringing up, they brought up yet another Orc band. And so we now fire on this one to try and break it. Got swiftness, which actually has seemed to have worked this time. It paused them for a moment. I don't know if that was just the AI or something. But they're now falling back, turning away, which makes them perfect targets for my archers to slay them from. And again, using fire arrows to try and burn the ram does take a lot of ammunition. I'll try it with this one unit of elves, my archer Lórien, just to see if they can actually do any damage to the ram. But from what I've seen previously, siege equipment is not, you know, easily damaged in Third Age. Smarts can continue to fire for a little bit, and then when they start moving, I'll get them to stop. But as you can see, you know, that's 2 volleys in a fire arrows, looking like they've hit the ram quite considerably. We'll let them do one more volley, but there's not even a single % of damage in there. So yeah, I'm going to stop these guys using flaming arrows now, and we'll get them to attack the Uruk bodyguard as well. Perhaps demoralize the enemy, break the morale by killing their general. The rest of them are all pulling back, and it may well be that we can fast forward this if the AI doesn't come towards me, but it looks like they're pulling back to reform, and it looks like the Uruk bodyguard are actually getting on top of the ram, or rather behind the ram, to control it, but we're bringing them down nicely. But I have to be careful with my ammunition, because once I run out, that's the long range capabilities of my elves destroyed, and I just have to stop that ram. If the Mumakil get in on the Olaghai, I am so screwed. We have to hold out as long as possible. Comes back to, or pull right back up to the central square of Edoras itself. Meanwhile, those enemy reinforcements are just holding tight. They can't do a thing unless they have siege equipment. See where a few of my elven units moved round, and I think that will be the general. That's the general there. I don't want to waste too many arrows trying to kill him, but it's worth it for the morale penalty. There we go.
Without him, his troops will lose their will.
Everybody can now hold fire, which is good. Again, don't think there's any point really trying to target the Olaghai either. Not sure there's going to be too much kill there. We're going to try and hit the Orc Raiders next. They're like the next large size force that's going for the ram, along with these behind them Orc band. If not too many of them, we should be able to bring them down. Mumakil supposedly have reduced numbers. Hovering over them, there's only 31 of their archers, which are actually, they're bringing them forward to use them as missile troops. They're actually starting to fire on my men. I will leave my elves where they are. Perhaps see if one unit of elves with some flaming arrows can target the Mumakil. We've sent them to run amok right now. That might be interesting. And perhaps the Galadrim, I'm going to set them as well to fire on the Mumakil. And I must have one unit watching, or at least a couple of them, aiming for the ram, but it seems right now it might be worthwhile going for the Mumakil. With the flaming arrows, try and turn them back. No one's on the ram, so let's see if we can send these guys running amok, break the enemy resolve, and hopefully break their lines with running Mumakil. Just watching my ammunition though, which is coming down. I brought the Mumakil right to sort of look over the wall. You'd have thought a Mumakil would just smash through Edoras' walls. The rest of my units, I'm just going to keep them in defensive mode. For now, that'll be fine. Hoping we could bring one of these Mumakil down. Just watching that ram still. No one's gone for it yet, which is good. Flaming arrows all over the place. And one is down, which is good. Hasn't sent them to run amok yet, but that's a start. And now they're running amok. And we've killed another one. The model just collapsed, and there we go. Smashing through its own troops now. Those Mumakil are no longer a threat. And we can cease fire now for a bit. And let the Mumakil do their work. Thank you very much, Mumakil. We've so far killed 25% of the enemy, which, not too bad, but we've nearly decimated the entirety of this first force. The other units are not moving in, so if we can push these guys back, we may well have a win. And I'm going to fast forward it a bit, just for now, just to wait and see if anyone's going to get on top of the ram. Yes, they are.
Only half the enemy force remains.
And that's half of the initial force. Well, there's these guys, and I'm now going to target these spearmen that are trying to bring up the ram. We need to break these guys now. But if we can stop them in between all this, I will be trying to fast forward a bit, because we may well end up just trying to hold out against the timer. For some reason my elves are not all targeting the ram, and it may well get to my gates. We'll see. But they now seem to be targeting it better. This is Olag High next. If I could destroy them, it could be alright. But they will cut through my lines of elven infantry and spearmen. I need to bring down this ram very quickly. Otherwise it is going to reach my gates. And I don't want to sally out with my spearmen to try and stop the ram, because it may well end up allowing the Olag High to charge in. And I don't want that. Looks like they're going to get this ram to the gate. There's enough of them still on it to push.
The enemy are battering down the gates.
Still enough all band to do damage. And if the ram starts swinging, then I will turn all my archers to fire on the Olag High and just try and do as much damage to them as possible. But no, we've managed to push those guys back, so I'm now going to target the Olag High. So we're going to have to target the Orc band with some men. Try and bring down the Olag High though now as a main priority. They are starting to already show blood on their armour where we've got a few hits in, so I'm just going to focus on them. I know the rest of these guys are, for some reason, moving the ram away and having a soundtrack spam. And we've already brought down 2 Olag High, which is good. Bring down the rest of the Olag High. I'm really not worried about them now, because the Mumakil are running amok through Mordor's lines. I don't think any of these guys have Olag High that I can see. Let's check the other army though. Nope. It's only this first initial force which has Olag High, which is essentially the only thing that's going to cause big problems for me. They're now trying to bring the ram back. Thank you, AI and Real Pathfinding, for going crazy. 3 Olag High, even if they did breach my gates now, I would be able to defeat them with my elven troops. So I'm going to fast forward it now 6 times. Probably see the rest of the Olag High down. I'm not even going to bother firing on the rest of them at the moment. The ram is glitched to the extreme, and I don't want to pull that back. Mumakil running amok at their flank, and those orcs going crazy. So I'm going to pause, obviously, the recording here, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys the victory achieved screen very shortly. An average victory apparently there. We lost 4 men. We managed to kill, well, the enemy lost 1,088. We only killed 937. The Mumakil cleared up a few of the enemy there. The other armies, obviously we didn't touch at all, but that's fine. didn't want to push out and risk them and leave my flanks exposed. But yes, the AI decided to try and pull the ram all the way back behind all their men, incredibly slowly for the rest of the time of that battle. So thank you, AI, there. You probably have saved me a bit. Although bringing down the Olag High there, even if they had charged in, I reckon I would have been able to hold out, even if the reinforcements had come round. My elven units in melee are rather capable. And we've got another commander, but I don't really need another one. So Haldir lives to tell a tale and survive once more. The other units have pulled back to Dunharrow for now. And now full stack threatens Rohan once more at Entwade. I hope that they can hold. I really do. Pull this unit down here. The spy, rather. We can see that Eldberg is relatively undefended. Mordor looking to send forces towards me, but I actually have quite a capable force up at Waldburg right now. I could build the Art Studio, but seeing as Mordor is on my doorstep there, I'd prefer not to. And we have a Mordor full stack descending on Thorenberg, which we will have to fight to the last. Don't know if my small contingent can hold or not, but they won't need to hold for too long.
Elves, onward! Ready, elves?
We're recruiting one more unit of Lórien infantry, which I'm going to get them to send afterwards. Because now I'm going to deploy this army to move here. So if they do attack Thorenberg, we may well be able to relieve the siege shortly. And I can already see that we have more men on the recruitment table to get in a few turns' time. So I'm going to recruit some more as reinforcements sent to Thorenberg and what have you later on. Don't really need any troops over here right now. If I could recruit some troops at Edoras, that would be great for Haldir, but at the moment, alas, no. I assume that most likely is because I lack, yes, elven culture, or rather lack enough elven culture. So let's see if we can recruit some troops close by. I don't think we can actually build those. Let's have a look. Another 12 turns for more Galadrim swordsmen, but over here only 8 turns for Galadrim swordsmen. If we improve the archery range, we could recruit more. I might get some Sylvan horse archers, but I think we'll get some more spearmen here to help hold.
Have you come to negotiate?
And sending this small contingent along to meet with my ring bearer and bring him to Helm's Deep.
Defend my people. Stay alert.
But that is going to take, as you can see, a ruddy long time because he's so badly corrupted by the ring. But we'll let him continue to move, and when he gets to Helm's Deep, we'll pass him over
Our movements.
To the next ring bearer. But by which point, hopefully, we'll be closer to Mount Doom and defeating Mordor. I wonder perhaps if we could gain a peace with Harad.
My lord, without question. Approaching their dignitary.
There is something you wish to speak of.
Or the thing is, we can't get an alliance with them because they're allied to Mordor. I was hoping to see if we could perhaps turn them against each other.
We must decline this.
Decline that.
Very well.
If we could turn them against Mordor, that would be great. Who? I mean, I'm sure there's probably lots of factions against them. Rohan, Gondor, Sylvan Elves, Elves of Lórien. In that case, I may well see if I can send a diplomat to Dale and see how we do that. Anyway, that's for another time, another part. We're at 1 turn left on these settlements. They should fall toward us, and Dunland's capital is still besieged by us. We should be able to have that. Again, I'm in no rush to push it. And just in a relative time of peace where they can't really push on me because the High Elves have now descended with a reasonably large-sized army. we're actually okay to take it easy. So let's see how Rohan does. They're pulling their forces away from Entwade, perhaps to try and survive a siege which they feel they cannot hold. We'll find out shortly. The High Elves continuing to bribe me. I'm going to be very pissed if Tharbad ever did change over. But I wouldn't go to war with them. High Elves would be a very strong foe indeed. Mordor attacking Thorenberg as I thought they would, and besieging Edoras, which, considering last turn's actions, is not a strange occurrence. And here we go. They haven't sallied out to try and attack us, so we can sack the settlements, and we take both Brig and Austin Edhill again. Well, we didn't have Brig before, but we had Austin Edhill. Don't need a new chap here. Settlement besieged, Edoras is fine, and another one at Thorenberg. But mission success, and we've been awarded some extra gold. In terms of production, we're now numero uno. Most advanced faction. And the wooden fort castle upgrade has been completed at the mountain fort. Finally, it can actually become something of use. Mainly, though, we're going to have to build an artist studio to make it anything of use, which we'll focus on building first. I don't find that hard to believe that my relations with both the Dark Lord and the Wild Men have gone down. So now with these forces, we can probably amalgamate them together and send them. Well, I was going to say down to Tulsa, but seems that the High Elves have blood in their heart, blood set for their armies. With their Quindai bow and sword, they will descend upon Talsar the Wild Men and destroy them, which I'll be doing at Dunard very shortly. So with these forces, we can now bring them over to help my cause at Edoras. We can help Haldir. Only need to leave the smallest of forces behind, ready to push on.
Yes, my lord. Elves, come, my brothers.
Ned Hill, they'll grow to be fine there. They've got enough there to actually recruit units should they want some. Nothing's going to really benefit the building right there just now. Although here, what have we got? They could do with an artist studio and later improve forest paths. But let's decide who we're going to leave here. We'll leave behind their weakest unit in terms of veterancy, which is between this one and this one, but this one's lost a few men. So we'll leave them behind and see if they can cope. Yes, they can, quite happily.
Follow me.
We're going to merge these forces here. 2 generals and a capable force of missile troops, some infantry as well, obviously the Eldar volunteers. And we now bring this force straight to Edoras. We'll take several turns though. The ballista. I'm going to take the ballista out. Well, actually, I might just disband it. And we should be able to move faster. Maybe not much, but still a bit more than we were going to. So, with all that in mind, we have a reasonable amount of money. excuse me. That's income. Oh, that's come in rather. Is the income? Let's build some spearmen here. We can actually afford to build a few units now, a few extras. All these units I'm building here will just be passed along to Helm's Deep and other places to help defend Edoras, who we're up against. They've got no trolls. Probably won't show you that battle because it should be relatively easy to deal with. Mordor looks like it got annihilated at Entwade though, and their army is pulled back here. The one was besieging them. Looks like this army is going to attack me at Waldburg next, and Thorenberg, of course, is besieged by this force, and we'll be dealing with all of them next time. I'm bringing this force up as quickly as I can, and sending the Lórien infantry up to catch up as soon as possible. And if we can, still can't retrain because I've got no stables here. The Sylvan horse archers, but I will get around to retraining them at some point. But that's where I'm going to end this part for now, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed now. Obviously, while I'm away, there is only going to be one more part of the Elves of Lórien. If I can, I will try and make it as long as possible, but I doubt I'll have enough time to make it a 1-hour special. But I'll do as best as I can. But when I'm back, I will be doing plenty of Elves of Lórien before Rome 2. I'll be spamming out plenty of videos to try and push on with this Let's Play, because I know you guys really enjoy it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this part. Please check out my schedule for while I'm away so you know what videos are going to be up, when and where. Yeah, that link to that is in the description. Hope you enjoyed this part. See you all again soon.